really will go a long way for KC.
Definitely, I think the best or the strongest individual performance we've seen from him so far is that second game against TL that he played. It was on the Azir, looked really comfortable mechanically. But this is something that you assume that HLE have also anticipated. So the question is, what does Zeka want to play into this? What counter picks does he have up his sleeve? Because
he does love to play a Kali into Azir. I don't think he'll show it this early in the draft. It's one of Zeka's most iconic picks. The other pick he's known for into this is the Sylas, which obviously is Fearless banned now, so unavailable. They don't necessarily have to pick it up right here. Another pick that Peanut often goes to in situations like this that's very flexible is the Maokai. So I could see that being a pick that they do end up going towards here in this situation in the draft because it empowers a lot of other picks. And that is what he's going to go for here. So it really helps you set up objectives, zone people away, can do really well at defending dives, can be great for siege later on. The Ashe that they do end up getting here is one of the strongest AD carry picks available in terms of lane bully as well. With the Kalista gone, Varus is already Fearless banned.
It's just a strong duo because you have that engage pressure, the lockdown, but also the saplings plus Hawkshot just means the map control is amped up to 11 immediately.
it does make it so much more difficult for KC, right? We saw a lot of situations where they were able to find these creative picks, but when your enemy is able to get perfect info, it can shut a lot down. But there's the Ivern we mentioned earlier, the Sejuani already banned, the Skarner already banned. This is that pick that Yike did use to great success against TES yesterday. Can be a little bit vulnerable, though, in these situations against the sheer amount of CC that a Maokai and an Ashe can bring to the table.
But you can also build items like a Mikhail's, you know, which has so much value. Like, I feel like Targamas is so good, Engage Support's probably still going to lean on that. Can build a Mikhail's himself as well, but those cleanse effects, tons of value into this team. And then, once again, I'm really glad they're going with a carry for Canna. The one thing with Ambessa, though, is into range top laners can struggle a bit, and I have no doubt Zeus will look to put the pressure on.
Okay, it's going to be Corki to come through here for Zeka. This is one of the picks that I thought he might go to here just because it's going to be one that can duel with the Azir quite well early. Pairs decently well with the Maokai as well. Could set up his rockets later on, a lot of his damage pretty successfully. There's a lot of great lockdown here for HLE.
Or something like the Alistair, I think is such a good pick for him, and it's just kind of a staple. So they probably take that and give... I mean, they could also just leave it till later and get pick Zeus' pick now.
Yeah, we'll see what he wants to play here into the Ambessa. Cassante, you know, one of those picks that we've seen in the past. The Gnar is one that Zeus is obviously known for. It's his debut pick, it's his iconic pick, and you can just outrange the Ambessa and kind of chip away. Feels really good with the rest of their comp too, because the Maokai can guarantee if you have your Gnar bar set up in the right position where you can get a massive Gnar into the wall and win a team fight just outright through that. They have so much CC, so much damage as well. It's kind of a pseudo triple AD carry composition here that is relatively tanky as well. When it comes to later team fights, the Ambessa isn't going to last long, and it's Jhin ultimately that they've decided on here.
I guess just trying to match utility with utility, call back to earlier iterations of the bot lane, but it's well highlighted that the amount of setup, the amount of CC is almost overwhelming on the side of HLE, and while you do have an Ivern, you have an Azir ult, Jhin gives you a little bit more of that utility, but it feels like we're still waiting for something a bit more reliable to come through in the support department to round this composition out, or see if they want to do something a little bit different, just try a range support pick, fight a bit more bot lane. It's actually, in the end, just taking the Alistair away from Delight. Makes a lot of sense, pairs well with the Ivern. I'm nervous about it, though, because Delight is Delight. Delight Alistair hits a little different than any other Alistair in the world, and this is a champion with a notoriously bad early laning phase.
I think it's a good denial, though. You know, I think ultimately you're into the Maokai, so and the Ashe, you can block that CC and ult off yourself, but you know, I don't pair Jhin super well with Ivern. Like, I prefer more DPS AD carry. It does set up for this Renata pick, though. I feel like it's a fantastic spot. You have Engage already in your composition. The enemy team's coming into you. You can Renata ult. Renata ult has pretty high value across this enemy team, so I think Delight pretty happy with you taking away his Alistair. And he gets a favorable bot 2v2 they will be really comfortable in.
I really don't expect a lot of pressure, but
right.
I think that it's just having winning lanes gives you a lot of agency in the game. And in terms of how they actually play fights, I don't really know if Alistair's going to be enough of an engage. So I'm worried for KC. I think this is going to be a harder game to play. But you know what?
What's up?
I love being proven wrong. So,
okay. Well, one thing that I think is always fun to take a look at, and you and I were looking at this right before the game started, is checking out numbers for a champ that gets played a lot. And we were talking about Peanuts Maokai.
Yeah.
Now, globally, like for all time, his lifetime win rate on the champion is just under 85%.
55 games, 54 games all time.
Yeah, just under 85% win rate. That's crazy. Even crazier is the fact that last year, hold on, now a lot of damage on a Delight who flashes away. KC still following after the HLE support, gives him the thumbs up, keeps on walking away. They interrupted my fun stat. The fun stat was going to be that Peanut played 19 of those games last year on Maokai. Vedius, how many did he win?
18 of them.
That's like 90. I think that the site said 94.7%.
Something like that, yeah. Scaling very much about taking their time, and I imagine this early game is going to be a slow one. Captain Flowers.
Anytime I see Corky Azir in the game, I give myself a nice
You're right.
cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah, man. Like, we've had so much Fearless recently that I haven't thought about it. But yeah, it's goddamn Corky Azir. Run from it, hide from it.
Dreaded, it arrives all the same. Yep. Here they are. Yeah, so you know, get cozy, get comfy. I like the chairs that we got here at Law Park.
It's kind of comfy.
Being able to sit down during the game is great for a Corky Azir match.
It really is. It really, really is.
All right, they'll just farm it up. They're hanging out. They're having a good time. Vladdy's not having as good of a time when the Rockets connect like that, but down here in the bottom lane, Viper and Delight. Vedius, does it ever get better for Kalist and Targamas, or are we just nah?
No. Okay. I don't think it does. Okay. It's pretty much every time Targamas tries to do anything, Renata just says no. Okay. So it's very much about farming. You need jungle involvement to make a gank happen. Yeah, so it's just kind of, how's the flight over? Do you have a nice one?
It was pretty long. I did manage to, my new strategy with long international flights is I stay up as long as humanly, but I just physically exhaust myself.
That makes sense.
And I can fall asleep. But right now, a lot of damage onto Targamas here, who's still only level 5, trying to make the outplay flash, but Viper rears his fangs. He's ready for it, and he earns first blood for HLE.
Yeah, I mean, we said this matchup wasn't going to get any easier, and Viper just styles on Targamas, flashing over the headbutt pulverize and securing first blood. That's going to be a dragon as well. HLE already have a 1.2k gold lead, have secured every early game of, and are just running the rift right now.
Man, oh man, this Viper Delight duo down here in bottom lane is absolutely frightening. They go in, they force the fight before Targamas ever has the opportunity to do anything with an ulti or something. He's still just barely level 5. Now Targamas here in mid wants to set up. Zeka in some danger now, gets swept to the side by Vladdy. Zeka flashing away from the root caller, needs to survive the additional pressure from Yike, but Daisy is fast with the Trigger Seed shield. The slow into the knockup is there. Zeka's gonna get caught, and KC get one back.
At the very least, KC are able to get on the board. Nice angle from Targamas to set up for the play. The Yike assist means that they're able to get a crucial kill onto Vladdy to get him in some of that CS gap. Looks like he's gonna go for the Nash's tube start. Peanut though, oh, look at, this is a race right now to get to the red buff.
Okay, Peanut, gotta be careful. The light right behind him. There is level 6 on the Renata, only level 5 on Targamas. Not really super close either. Yike making his way over. Peanut with the smite, secures the buff. Now with the blast cone over the wall. Again, the arrow onto the Alistar, and there's no ulti to try to save him. A defensive headbutt to try to escape, but it's not gonna happen, and Peanut gets this one.
Just the level advantage that HANWHA Life have mean that Targamas is gonna lose his life once more. He had the flash available, but he couldn't react in time to the Ash Arrow. And all of a sudden, HANWHA Life gain a commanding lead. We're gonna go back to base, has the TP available. Zeus with a nice interrupt to delay his arrival. The Trinity Force, I imagine, has to be...
It must be close. Kalist, nice sidestep there on that arrow. Viper wanted to go fishing with it, see if they could maybe pick the KC80 carry. That pretty much guarantees you get the dragon for free, but...
Look at the positioning here, Flowers. You'll notice that in the mid lane, HANWHA Life have the push again. This is going to force Kalist to go the long way around to catch that wave. And now numbers advantage in favor of HLE.
Yike stepping back away from it. The brushes still placed down in the river. Daisy summoned up. HLE still with control over the objective. Curtain call opens up. There's no arrow to try to stop it. Redemption comes down. Peanut backing away from that one. Dragon's gonna get very low to smite range here very quickly. Peanut needs a little bit more damage, and the Drake goes the way of HLE. Targman's in the middle. massive double knockup. First kill goes the way of KC, and HLE has to disengage. Viper into Light looking to run away, but the root caller's ready to chase him. Viper does not want to go any closer if he can help it. Targamas about to drop low, maybe might just die. A little bit more damage will get it done, and it's a 1-for-1 here with the supports. Viper still running. Kalisz with a flash in. Viper shut down. Zeka shut down. KC triple kill Kalisz.
A huge triple kill for Kalisz means that that's a one-team fight for KC. 4 spikes secured.
Okay, now the important part about this Rift Herald fight is that Zeus does have a TP. His opponent does not. A lot of damage here on a Peanut, though. This could be a huge catch. Kalisz, third shot, might need number 4. Delight's gonna block it. Rift Herald mostly reset. KC doing a great job here, chunking down the enemy jungler, forcing Peanut back. He'll go back into the jungle to heal up, and HLE has no more eyes on the Herald. Viper gonna step up here, look to trade with Kalisz, but those trades don't feel as good as they did in lane, Vedius. That Jhin has a lot of money now as Kana goes in. After Zeus here a little bit, the trade goes his way ever so slightly.
I mean, yeah, this Jhin definitely hurts. And the range from KC is proving to be very difficult for Peanut to handle.
Yeah.
Even if the Maokai ultimate comes through, they have easy follow-up thanks to the Jhin. Targamas acting as that front line, looking to connect the stun.
Yeah, Delight and Viper moving forward. Viper going in after Kalisz, needs more damage to kill the Jhin, and he takes him out. Now Targamas is gonna be your next target as Yike is about to die to Peanut and Zeka at the same time. KC, they wanted a fight around this Herald, and HLE was happy to oblige. 3-0.
Just like that, HLE quell any semblance of doubt that you might have in them. Viper steps forward with nothing but confidence, as with no flash on Kalisz, no barrier to mitigate the damage, Viper just runs him down. Mid is gone, top is gone. 3K is the gold advantage.
Walks over, pops the passive heal on the Krugs. Vladdy and Targamas, in the meantime, gonna put some pressure on the other side of the map. Zeka wants to defend. The cannon minion doing a good job tanking up the turret. KC trying to brute force this down, but they can't do it. Now back underneath the tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane, a 1-for-1. Peanut gives his life so that Viper can get another kill, and now keep pushing onto the tier 2. Targamas coming up here into the top side as Zeka moves forward and forces Vladdy back. He and Yike trying to keep the pressure on, but Delight has reinforced his own mid laner, and KC will not claim that tier 2 turret. Ruinous Otacon down there in the bottom side of the map. Zeus and Viper making their way over to the pit right now. This might just be a 2-man attempt.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to stall enough on the top side. I love the aggression that we saw from Zeka because he's able to clear out the wave, stop the siege from coming through, and as a duo, they can just melt through this. Zeus is more than happy to tank it up. I stand corrected. They hesitate. They realize that the resets have come through.
And again, this gold lead staying at about 3,000 for the side of HLE. 7-6 in terms of kills, and now it looks like KC are the ones who want control over the Otacon pit. Zeus not around here anywhere. Targamas jumping in, immediately followed up. Delight is already down before he could do anything at all. KC are going in. The Maokai ult for the escape route for the rest of HLE. KC with a killer instinct. Jump in there and make it happen. Now they're going after the Otacon itself, but Zeus has arrived to the fight, and the Gnar bars charged. KC still trying to commit to the objective. The Scuttlecraft's taking the damage a little bit, but now KC, they're about to drop Zeus into the middle of the fight, but he's not ready to transform just yet. The first kill on Targamas. Now the Otacon, the target for HLE. KC still hanging around, trying to see if they might be able to contest. Yike here on the front line, wants to smite fight. Viper's all alone, he's gonna be careful. Makana's got no ulti. Zeus in the back finds the wall. He's gonna be shut down by Kalisz, but Viper and Peanut are going forward. It's so many kills for Viper. There's no hope for KC, and HLE bury him in the bot lane.
The Otacon is such a dangerous place to fight, but Viper and Zeka make it look so safe. Their positioning is fantastic. They're able to sidestep everything, and KC being attacked on all sides flounder and are not able to come out on top.
Wow. Do not want to allow this Ocean Soul to go to HLE. They don't want to allow that permanent regeneration, which will just create a nigh unplayable game state around any sort of a neutral standoff. But here comes Zayas. There's no Narbar though. Keep that in mind. This is huge for these team fights. If Zayas jumps in, he's just going to be tiny. HLE going after the Drake. It is secured by Viper on the Ashe. Yike having to run away, but a big engage coming out from Vladdy. They've managed to take down Viper. Vladdy's cutting it out. Zayas is already dead now too. HLE are scattering, and only Zeka's left alive to deal damage. Yes, the Ocean Soul went the way of the Korean team, but it looks like KC might have just found exactly what they needed. Another triple kill for Kalist, and KC are marching towards a Baron that's 5 seconds away from spawn.
A huge team fight win for KC. Vladdy sets up the perfect ultimate to allow for Kalist to clean up the fight. 8-1 is the scoreline of this young AD carry, as the Baron is going to be secured for KC.
Zeka taking the opportunity to get whatever he can in the meantime. The tier 3 turret in the bottom lane is his target, but KC securing this Baron. Yes, they lost the Ocean Soul, but they are gonna get something massive in trade. Again, this is KC finding a moment where everything seems to be steadily marching away from them to rein the game back in and still have some bit of a chance.
So the TPs come through.
Both of them have been the Targamas and Vladdy machine. Both of these guys working together to find multi-man engages to throw their enemies not just up into the air, but right back down into their own graves. It's been huge. It's been what's keeping KC in this game. Now, a lot of damage onto the light. The curtain call opens. KC try to get themselves away, but now the potential punish right back onto Vladdy. He's in some danger as the damage pours out, and Vladdy's first to die. Zeka goes on a killing spree. There's no way out for Targamas. Unbreakable will or not. HLE, hold the line.
I know the expression has been used a lot throughout the history of esports, but man, if you give HLE a finger, they rip the whole damn arm off. A single misstep from Vladdy in the mid lane, immediately all of the wind is taken out of the sails. It's HANWHA life on the push.
Kalist has to be so careful here, but Kana doing a great job. Jumps into the wall to punish Viper and Zeka. They thought they had the angle there to kill the KC80 carry, but Kana ready, jumping into the wall with the public execution.
What even is the state of the game right now, Flowers? Elder Dragon in 2 minutes time with the Baron. KC are continuing the siege. The Baron power play still 2.6k in KC's favor.
Red Bull Baron power play about to run out here. Only 15 more seconds until it expires. Arrow from a long way away. Not going to get a whole lot of value out of that one. Zayas in some danger off to the side as he scraps with Kana. Targamas forced to use the Unbreakable Will now. Knocking Peanut right back into the team. HLE is going to go ahead and lose their jungler. Kalist is dominating, but Vladdy is down, and they've also lost Targamas. Kana's the next target, flashing away, trying to survive, but another TP is ready to answer. Zayas is looking to cut off the escape for KC. Kana's gonna teleport to save his own life, but Zayas is in hot pursuit of Kalist. He misses the first boomerang, but he catches it on return. He doesn't want to chase any further. It's another win, just barely, for HLE, a 2-for-1 trade.
The fights are just so fast, but it feels... Oh, hang on a minute.
Zayas is going crazy here, jumping in after Kalist. The punish from Kana again, making sure that his carries are kept safe. And Zayas, the mind games against Kalist, he steps away from it, while Zeka is returning to that bottom lane that he opened up earlier to get this Elder. They can win this fight and win this game.
Here we go. The bot lane being pushed in by Zayas. Zeka there to catch the mid wave. He does have TP to regroup with his team. This is dropping fast.
Elder Dragon down to 8,000. HLE ready to challenge. Arrow flies out. Damage onto Targamas here at the start. He's frontlining for now. A lot of damage on the Peanut. Public execution flies in. KC's already found the first kill. But what about the objective? The Dragon secured by Yike. A massive 3-man shuffle from Vladdy. KC are getting it done. They find 2, and they want to get another. Viper with a sidesteps as Zayas interrupts Kalist, and Zeka flies in, but it's not enough. The Elder is making the difference. Zayas finally gets the shutdown. KC, they got the objective, but lost the fight. Only Yike still has the buff.
How did they do that? Zayas in that whole fight still kept his ultimate up. And even though they get that kill onto Zeka, Zeus remaining alive means that he's able to clean up the fight.
The bailout changing a lot there.
Goodness.
As HLE back onto the map.
It felt so close, Flowers. It really did feel that KC were gonna win out there. Zeus.
Oh, nice jump in from Kana yet again. The public execution finding the target. Follow up with a deadly flourish. Zeus trying to get away here. The redemption ready to heal him up. Zeus goes mega just in time. Zeka jumping in to protect his top laner. KC don't have the damage, and they threw the kitchen sink at him. Now everybody wearing blue is stuck in the mid lane. Meanwhile, their base is being torn to shreds. HLE looking to push Nexus. It's Viper and Delight. Zeus has made the TP in as well. Vladdy immediately teleporting back to try to save the game as Peanut will fall to Yike, and the pressure is not enough to end it all the way just yet.
My goodness, HLE. I can't believe that Zeus was able to survive that. The damage just wasn't quite enough. The thumbs up from Kalist, trying to keep the mood positive. As Viper acts as a wall that KC have to break through.
Targamas with a very early unbreakable will. He goes in. He catches Viper. The carry from HLE is dead. Kalist with the kill. And at the darkest hour, KC continue to hold their heads high.
The base, it's just too broken. They need the inhibitor turrets to respawn. I mean, they still have one, of course. The second on its way soon. But the fact that Zeus can just constantly be this point of pressure is a terrifying thing for them to deal with. The inhibitor cooldowns, you can see them at the top left of your screen. 45 seconds away on this top one. KC, I don't know if they can start this.
There is a TP available for Zeus. KC are saying, all right, we're going for it. They're going to be Gen the Elder, Vladdy, and Kana, both with a TP available. Vladdy, a lot of damage here on Zeus, forces Mysterix out of them there. Delight and Peanut trying to make the fight happen. Delight uses the ulti there from Renata, doesn't get a lot of value out of it. KC will earn themselves an Elder Drake as Delight now trying to retreat down the bottom side, should be caught. I don't see any way for Renata to get away from this. Targamas is first to the scene, and with Kalist nearby, it's another pop. Watch him drop Kalist.
Right, 35 seconds left. Kalist.
Okay. Keep your eyes on Kalist, keep your eyes on Kana. The public executions have hit the target so many times this game. Zeus, critically, the Gnar transformation already happening before he can get his recall. KC, they want to use the Elder and try to find something crazy right now. Daisy underneath the turrets, here for the Nexus. She's going to go ahead and die immediately. KC, still on their push. Fairman Enchanted minions. Nice handshake there on the Vladdy, but he jumps back away. Curtain Call firing off. They want to try to use this to secure a kill there with the Elder, but the execution isn't going to happen. Zeus coming in from behind, but the Gnar has no bar. Zeus needs to be careful about this one as he gets rooted up. Public execution right back on top of him. Zeus is dead. KC with a 5v4 in the enemy base. Viper loses half HP. The Elder no longer active, but the Baron's still got 90 seconds. HLE are now the ones missing a Nexus turret.
KC have the Nexus of HANWHA life in their sights. The TP is going to come through. They've got another minion wave. The Elder may have fallen off, but they have 5 members.
HLE have to defend 4 versus 5. Targamas with a Hex Flash. Not going to find the angle here for the headbutt pull. Zeka, half HP. It's the death of Peanut, thanks to Kalist. As Viper stays alive for an extra second, but the man needs a bailout. It's not going to be in time. KC stand tall, but they have not done it just yet. A triple kill back over to Zeka. Kalist versus Zeka. The bullets in the air. KC have done it. Gods can bleed, and KC